Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And want to say Happy 4th of July to everybody. And I will get and I was doing the reviews in the Leprechaun franchise, but since for today's Independence Day, Happy 4th of July, I wanted to review something for the 4th of July, not on another shit Leprechaun movie, but I wanted to review because I wanted to review this film the last 4th of July though, but I had another movie in mind to want to do, but and plus since like I said it's a I'll sure review it view of Independence Day, yeah, but so and it's film that came out in 1996, so 20 years and plus for the new film Resurgence. But I wanted to review the first film since 1996. 20 years reviewing since I've been recently reviewing films that came out in 1996. So fitting for it. But yeah, for this year's 4th of July, I want to review the film, the title, Independence Day. And right off, I love this movie, and it's always been a classic, especially in the science fiction genre. And even though I would say that nowadays people still make fun of the movie, which I don't get though. I mean, this film was a massive hit, and yet people still make fun of the film, and I have no idea why. I mean, this film, which has an all-star cast. I absolutely love the cast in the film. Stars Bill Pullman as the president of the United States, which he did a great job as the president. Jeff Goldblum as David, which I always enjoyed. Will Smith as Lieutenant Hiller, or not Lieutenant, Captain Hiller. And especially those three actors alone made the film work. I mean, that originally how it's first of all it's directed by Roland Emmerich, which I would say he's been a great director. He directed Universal Soldier, the first one with Jean-Claude Van Damme, which I love, and then he go on to direct Stargate, which I do like with Kurt Russell and James Spader, two highlights of the film. But of that franchise of Stargate, SG-1, I'm not the biggest of, even though my dad and my brother are huge fans of that show. But the film that Roland Emmerich directed, I like. And then he would go on. After this film, he would go on to direct, yes, Godzilla, which I love. It's one of my favorite films of all time. Then he would go on to direct. There was 10,000 BC, which that was said one of his worst movies. Then you go on to direct 2012 with John Cusack. Then you go on to direct White House Down, which I was surprised by. And then yes, he's directing. They come back to direct the sequel, the 20-year later sequel of Independence Day Resurgence, with Bill Pullman and Jeff Goldblum coming back. But it's definitely is. I would say it definitely is. It's between. If I have my choice between this and Godzilla, I was still Godzilla is one of my favorite films of all time. Of course, I will love the film, but I does make me love this film no less because this is a great film, awesome, and how the film really enough how Roland Emmerich came up with the ideas because the idea came up for Roland Emmerich because is when he was doing he was promoting for the film Stargate, and a reporter told Emmerich that because like how that like Roland Emmerich doesn't believe in aliens, and the person asked that why would you make a film like Stargate that if he doesn't believe in aliens, and but then that's how Roland Emmerich came up with the idea that he wanted to make a film that how what if with aliens arrived and we didn't expect it, and that gave my. But that's the whole idea, because of a question reporter asked, and if he didn't believe in aliens, and that gave him the idea to do this film, and I would say Roland Emmerich did a great job, and this is a special edition though, in which, first of all, that's a really great scene when the first aliens arrive. When they like from the big mothership, and they got all these other ships that are like more than 15 miles wide, going to different cities. That's a great looking scene. You can see right there. And the great looking designs of the alien ships is like how when they first come in to down to Earth, they just like come through the clouds, and some of it may look like it's on fire, but they're coming from all over the place, all over the world, and they just want to annihilate us, basically. And of course, this, I guess a bit like before Independence Day, there wasn't that big on huge alien invasion films though, but this set the whole thing off, and then since then you have other films like other 50 like alien invasion films. I mean, you got like for instance, you got Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds, which really enough it's a remake that I do like, with Tom Cruise, Dakota Fanning, and Tim Robbins. I actually do like War of the Worlds. And then other ones, like even though there's some big budget alien invasion films, then you get some of the low budget ones like Skyline, with starred Eric Balfour from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, and which a lot of people hate that movie Skyline though, but I highly enjoy it though. That's a lower budget, which from the film itself, it doesn't look like it's like a low budget film, but really well filmed, and I enjoy that film. So Skyline, that's even though it gets hated on a lot though, but I like it. And I can't think of anything else. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head though, but I'm just throwing out some examples there. But there's been like a lot of after this, there's been like a whole bunch of alien invasion films, and there's been some shitty ones though, but there's been a lot of good ones. And I thought the film, first of all, now the cast I enjoy, the characters are likable, the settings. I mean, the special effects are awesome and fantastic, and looking back on this film, it's not a dated film at all. The film does not look dated. I mean, when you compare it to this and just the look of this film, you compare it to Resurgence, even though it's 20 years. Yeah, it's 20 years later though. This still looks. It's not an outdated film. It's not. And let's look really reading on the back of here. One of the biggest box office hits in motion picture history, delivers unprecedented suspense through groundbreaking visual effects and a gripping story of alien invaders launching an all-out attack on the human race. Groundbreaking visual effects, yes, because not only there's some CG enhancements though, but it's mixed in with some well done actual models and miniatures, as was called miniatures, but model work, like how when also including with actual fires though, but there's some actual fires because how the way, especially when I'm sure I know everyone has seen Independence Day, but so like when the alien ships where they're going to the cities like from New York to Washington and L.A. When they blow up the Empire State Building and the White House and this other building in L.A. Great model work and explosions, everything. From the aliens' first attack. Well, yeah, the big alien attack. It's huge and it's epic, and for the film that came out during the summer of 1996. This was not a big budget film. When you look at this, it may seem like it's a huge budget, but it's not. It really cost for like around $75 million. And when you compare it to like it's double the budget of Independence Day Resurgence, It's like way double that, and but look at this film. This is not an over $100 million film. It's not. It's really done with an actual a smaller budget, less under $100 million, $75 million, and it's really well done with outstanding special effects, model work, and just really and the aliens are just gonna annihilate us, and we want to fight back. And yeah, a lot of fun moments between characters and dialogue, like with Jeff Goldblum with his father played by Judd Hirsch, where they're playing chess, and it's like and Judd Hirsch's like, well, you don't start to move, I'm gonna start to decompose, and Jeff Goldblum's checkmate. Oh wait. Checkmate. Then you see that he's like he works Jeff Goldblum's character David, he works at this what was it I forget what it was, some kind of with the satellites and stuff, or communications. I forget what his job was though, but he gets like he cares about like the environment, so like when he's talking to Harvey Fierstein, from Mrs. Doubtfire and Mulan, like he gets another fun where he finds like the empty soda cans and trash cans. He's like, my God in heaven, and puts it into recycling. What is this? My God in heaven. And then Bill Pullman does a great job as a president. It's definitely one of the best. Like next to him and Harrison Ford, I would say is two of the best actors playing presidents. As I love Bill Pullman's as this president, and you can get a good moment with, because how much he loves his wife and his daughter, like when he calls his wife, and a moment where he says, "I have a confession to make. I am sleeping with a young beautiful brunette." It's his daughter, and his daughter's like, and the girl played his daughter cute and not annoying, and he's like, Dad let me watch Letterman, and Bill goes, traitor. So you get to look at the nice back and forth between characters, and fun as well, and not laughable or annoying. And then when they get here, like in the satellite place where they get receiving signals like from aliens, and then you show. Well, at least all the alien ships, they come down to Earth and come through the clouds, and everyone's looking and astounded, and Jeff Goldblum's in the film, and his who played his Margaret, Colin, as playing as Jeff Goldblum's his ex-wife. I thought she did a good job, and same with Mary McDonnell, who played the president's wife, and Viva A. Fox, who played Will Smith's fiance as well. But as like the president, as the aliens are overshadowing the cities, and the president's like, there's gonna be a lot of people scared out there, and Jeff Goldblum's ex-wife is like, yeah, I'm one of them. And then like you introduced to Will Smith's character, which is probably by 25 to 30 minutes into the film. He's laying in bed, and he thinks it's an earthquake. He goes back to sleep, and then when he goes to the bathroom, he sees the neighbors, like, the neighbors are moving again. After one quake, a bunch of wimps. And, like, I don't like how he doesn't know what's going on. He's walking out there, getting the newspaper, and he looks both sides. The neighbors are looking until he sees a big ship over in the city. And so he has a choice but to go back to the military, which he's a fighter pilot, along with his friend, played by Harry Connick Jr., which he's in it for a small bit. And you get another funny scene where he's talking with Harry Connick Jr., and he has this ring which he wants to propose to his fiance, and Harry Connick Jr. is holding the ring. And he's like down on his knees, and he's holding the ring. And one guy walks in, it's like, okay, he walks away back the other way. So you get the nice funny scenes, like another nice funny scene that made me laugh. And then David finds out that he discovers that there is a signal in their own satellites, and has a countdown. So he wants to take his dad and to go to the White House to talk to the president about what's going on, and what was, and they also get to talk with the presidents, talking with the staff. One general actually is played by Robert Loggia, who sadly has now passed away, and he even makes a small cameo appearance from the same character from the first film in the second film, really enough. So, and I worked Robert Loggia does good as his general. And the other guy who's now passed away, named James Rebhorn, as the Secretary of Defense. And again another funny scene where Jeff Goldblum is with his dad. He's driving, and they're on this on the freeway, and these are the cars pass. Like, look at this, everyone's in the cars are going faster than you, and he's like, Judd Hirsch's like, I don't want to get a ticket, and or where there's a point where there's more oncoming traffic, and trying to get out of the way, and Jeff Goldblum's like, nice move, Dad. Nice driving, Dad. And so they get to the White House. And they get to the White House, and he calls up his ex-wife, which first she hangs up on him, but he gets like a bigger signal and calls her again. And he just tells her, look out the window. She goes, how does he do that? So they get into the White House, and you get another a funny scene where they're talking that because that the president not wanting to see him because, and Joe Goldblum explains, last time we saw each other, we got into a fight, and his ex-wife says, you walked up to him, you punched him in the head, and then Judd Hirsch goes, you punched the president? No, he wasn't the president then. And we had a fight where we wrestled around, and because he thought that his wife was having an affair with the president, and Judd Hirsch's like, with the president? So as she goes and gets him, then Judd Hirsch goes and says again, you punched the president? And then Judd Hirsch, he's like talking, like, a lot of famous people has been to the White House. You know, baseball players, actors, singers, and now me. And then Jeff Goldblum's like, imagine that. Look, a poor immigrant like me. It's a dream. So you get those nice fun bits of dialogue that is actually funny and it works. Unlike some films today, which most of the dialogue is mostly horrible and not funny. But so the dialogue in this works, and it helps with the conversations between characters, and in which they're likable characters that you like, and so he talks to the president. He explains the problems, and the clock is ticking, and there's these choppers that are in front of the aliens. Then they want to call them back, but the aliens just blast them out of the sky. So they start evacuating the White House, and they go on Air Force One, and as the cities, the spaceships get ready to use the beaming, and they blow up one of the building in L.A., then the Empire State Building, and then they blow up the White House, which is probably the most famous scenes when the White House gets blown up. And which I do remember, I had an old VHS tape when it had a hologram where it shows the spaceship above the White House, and when you move the VHS, it moves with it shows the White House being blown up. I do remember having the old VHS tape, but not anymore though. But I do remember the holographic look of the picture of the VHS cover. Um, and you just get this big epic scene of the ships blowing up the cities, just huge, and it's epic and a lot of destruction. Um, all the buildings getting destroyed. Actual like the great visual effects, great use of models, um, of buildings and miniatures, and it's just really it fits the film well, and it's very well shot and very well edited. Great, awesome special effects, which of course now that you will not see that today because everything is green screen and CG. Guarantee, because no one the it's just sad that great effects like practical effects that were back then and now you don't see that no more. It's hardly been used anymore because everything is being CG'd over nowadays. Or if they do try to do practical, they just gloss it over with CG. I mean, why would you do that when you're doing practical? Do it practical instead of glossing it over with horrible CG. But whatever. And then there's one point where Harvey Fierstein gets killed. He looks at the explosion. And he's in his car. He's like, oh crap. And then Vivica Fox is with his son. They're in the tunnel and they try to she. I just can't talk right now. Mumbling and stuttering my words again. She's trying to get out, and they get into this door, and probably, I guess, a lot of people make fun of this scene because with their dog, how it's dodging out of the way of the cars, and it jumps into them. Yeah, a lot of people make fun of that scene. I understand that though, but if I enjoy the film so much, I can let that slide. I can forgive it for that. Yeah, I understand. Because we gotta have the dog live. So yeah, people make fun of that though, but I forgive that scene though. I can understand that part though, but I forgive it. So that's why I can let it go. Yeah, so the dog gets in there, and then the aftermath, like you see the Statue of Liberty in the water. And but even during the scene, they managed to get Air Force One. Air Force One managed to get out of there just in time. And then Vivica Fox get and some other few survivors. They're driving along, and then Will Smith and Harry Connick Jr. and other find they're gonna strike back, and then they notice that the big ships have shields. So does the little alien ships. All the fighters are getting destroyed, and Harry Connick Jr. gets killed. But Will Smith is the last survivor, and he's chasing through these canyons, and he uses an ejector seat, and it's like, let's see if I find that thing undercover. And then the alien ship just crashes, and Will Smith has this fun moment where he sees, he's like, ah, that's right, look at you now, ship all banged up, who's the man, who's the man, once I get in the plane, I can rattle your friends out right now, where you at, huh, where you at? And opens it, and gives badass moment where he just goes and knocks the alien out, and says, welcome to Earth. And gets a cigar, and it's like, no, that's why I call it Close Encounter. And that's probably one of the people I would say people didn't like about Independence Day Resurgence, because the film didn't do that well domestically, probably because it's been a long time for a long sequel to come out, and probably the reason why that Will Smith is not in it because. Well, I would like to see. I would like to see Will Smith come back though. Even though Bill Pullman and Jeff Goldblum did, even Judd Hirsch did, in which I don't know why. I forget the reason why Will Smith didn't want to do it though. But so from what I heard, that even saying that we're just gonna kill his character off. In the film, he's already dead. Sometime, and it's his son is now a fighter pilot. Yeah, that's one thing. That's one of the big things. I wouldn't. That would have a thing with. Yeah, Bill Pullman, Jeff Goldblum are in it, and But I'd like to see Will Smith in it with the three of them, and that's not the case though. But from what I hear is like, oh, from here going around, Will Smith's character is already dead. He died in a flight test, I guess. Oh, that's just a lame way to go. When you look at Will Smith's character, what he did in this film, and now he's just dead. Whatever. But that's what I've been hearing, but I'm sure, but obviously that's the right answer too. But the film, like Resurgence, didn't have that. It did live up the expectation of what the first film had. It had a not that great of an opening, and domestically it's not doing that well. Well, I'm sure it's doing well overseas though, but not domestically. And yeah, I think it's nice that Roland Emmerich comes back to direct it, and yeah, Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman, Judd Hirsch comes back, and Brett Spinner, which I'll get into, even he comes back as well. And like I mentioned to Robert Loggia, that one little cameo that he has before he passed away. So, so after that fun scene with Will Smith's character, and then I forgot to mention Randy Quaid. I forgot to mention him. Which he also did a good job as well. Randy Quaid. That he was he was a Vietnam War in Vietnam, and he drives a crop duster, and he's also an alcoholic because he's also an alcoholic, but also then he goes that he was adopted by aliens, and that he's a laughing stock. Everyone thinks he's crazy, and his kids at first they didn't want nothing to do with him because how loony he's become. So, and back with Randy Quaid's character, we first kind of feel sorry for though, but you think that because he thinks he's been abducted by aliens, you think you're crazy. So I forgot to mention him, and then you hear back with Vivica Fox or Drive, and they find the first lady and who's still alive, and then Will Smith's character, still to funny dialogue is like, you know what? This is supposed to be my day off, but you got me. What was it? There was what was that one dialogue? I know the rest, but there was that one line in between though. That's why I'm pausing. But I forgot that one line that happened after that. But it's like, but no, you come here all big and tough, and you got me walking through the burning desert with your dreadlocks sticking out of the back of my parachute. And he's like, and what the hell is that smell? He starts kicking. I could have been a barbecue. But no, it's all good. Will Smith was fun, and plus, this is the film that launched his career. Like before, because he was doing this with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and this is the film that pretty much launched his career. Then he goes start in Bad Boys 1 and 2. Then, what was the other one? Even though Wild Wild West, not that great though, but it's not the worst movie I've ever seen though, because I like Will Smith and Kevin Kline, but even that was in 1999 though. So, but then he started going to stars gets more famous hits like starring in the Men in Black films, which that was 97, so that came out the year after Independence Day. And I love Men in Black so that also was in the same point in his career. So during Independence Day, they started going to stars in Men in Black. So then more movies come in, and talks with Randy Quaid. There's this base talking about, and you get another funny scene where back on Air Force One, Jeff Goldblum's character, he's air sick, and Judd Hirsch is like, it's Air Force One for crying out loud. He still gets air sick, and he's like, look at me, I'm a rock. You know, I can take on the plane where you go up, you go down, you go back and forth, you go side to side, and he's doing all the motions. It's making Jeff Goldblum more sick. I thought that was another funny scene. And then they mentioned that Judd Hirsch, tells him, hey, don't tell him to talking about David. Hey, don't tell him to shut up. You'll be dead now if it wasn't for my David. And he tells him about back in the 50s, you had that spaceship. The crash happened in New Mexico. You had that spaceship, and you had the. I'm trying to do his voice impression. He's like, you had the spaceship, and then you had the bodies. And Area 51. Area 51. And then James Rebhorn's character, he knew about Area 51, but he didn't tell no one. So they get to Area 51, and you had Brent Spiner there, and you had Adam Baldwin in there as well. Which he was good in his role, and it's Brent Spiner, he's the long hair, the kind of like the more like a crazed looking scientist though, and then Will Smith is on a truck and he tells his guards that he needs clearance. It's like, okay, come here, you want to see my clearance? Shows him the alien. He's like, maybe I should just leave this here with you. It's like, let him pass. And then back with Randy Quaid, his younger son is sick, and it shows that he now shows more that he cares about his son. He's asking for, please, my son is sick. I need some help. And will you please understand? I don't guess about my son will die. It shows that he's now starting to care. He shows really how much he cares about his kids. And then there's one point where Robert Loggia tell us about the Secretary of Defense, how he knew about this place and didn't tell us. And then the scene with Brent Spiner is doing a surgery on the alien, and he gets this thing stuck in his head, coming from the alien, and which of course, first the alien has a hold on him, and he's using Brent Spiner to speak through him to the president, saying, release me. And the president's like, I'm sure that there's a way for us to coexist. Can there be a peace between us? Peace. No peace. What do you want us to do? Die. And I also like that how the outer part of the alien looks. It's actually really a suit, and there's the actual alien is inside. I always enjoy how the look of these aliens from their suit, from their outer suit to who they really are on the inside. So, and then the president, he gets also getting these things in his head, and Robert Loggia is telling Adam Baldwin, is that glass bulletproof? No, sir. Just shooting it. And then the president also says, let's nuke the bastards. They tried nuking it, doesn't work. And of course it shows, and back when I said Brent Spiner, it shows that it looked like he was dead, like how the way he looks, but and then of course another thing within Resurgence, they have this whole thing, he was in a coma the whole time. He was in a coma for 20 years. To me, it looked like he was dead right there though, but they brought him back, I guess, with that idiotic idea that he was in a coma. But to me, he was dead in the first film, but they brought him back through this coma idea. So, but and then was the one thing after another where Jeff Goldblum gets drunk. And it was his father sees him and was like, what are you doing? I'm making a mess. And it's like, we gotta burn the rainforest. Dump toxic waste, rip up the ozone too. Maybe if we screw with this planet enough, they probably don't want no more. And then Judd Hirsch says, give this freezing floor before you catch cold. What'd you say? I don't want you to catch cold. And he's like, oh, genius. My father, a genius. And then it gets to the point where I guess some people make fun of the idea about the whole thing about giving, a computer virus to the aliens. I guess it's another idea that people make fun of, though, but I buy it because, well, I don't make another comparison, though, but probably, well, there's another alien film that had another way for, they had one way to kill the aliens, though. Like, here they found a way how to destroy the aliens was with a computer virus, right? Well, which I actually like that they used the idea of a computer virus. Because they use their satellites against them, and they have a way to do the same thing back to them. They put a virus in their satellites, so they have a way to do it back to them. And it's like he puts the Coke can, and they activates the shields, and it has Adam Baldwin shoots it, and then he deactivates it, and he's like, "What'd you do?" "I gave it a cold. I gave it a virus, a computer virus." I don't know why people say that that's a dumb idea to do, but I like it though. But I saw this movie, so I totally buy the idea of giving a computer virus. I do. But like I said, I just don't get why this film still gets hated on nowadays. I just don't get it. It's a classic, and it really set the tone for another big, huge summer blockbuster. It was a massive hit back then in 1996. Define the alien invasion movies, basically. So that him and Will Smith are gonna be the pilots of this alien ship to go into the Mothership to set the virus, and Jeff and you get really good back and forth with Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith. Like Jeff Goldblum asks him it's like, can you fly one of those? And Will Smith goes, can you just do all that bullshit you just said again? So they have a plan. So and then well, right before that, they've put Bill Pullman as president. He finds that his wife is bedridden and she's dying from maternal bleeding, and she says, "You're gonna be all right." She says, "Liar." And then it shows that you don't see it though, but his wife died and he feels really terrible and along with his daughter. And so they go along with this as he goes along with the plan, and he tells the Secretary of Defense, James Rebhorn, and he's like, you know what, my biggest mistake is that I employed a sniveling little weasel like you, Secretary of Defense. Mr. Nimzicki, you're fired. He's like, can you do that? I think, and his wife and Jeff Goldblum's wife's like, I think he just did. So, and Bill Pullman, he's gonna go out there and fight the fighter pilots because he was a pilot back then before president, and I like this president. He's a guy he wants to go out fighting, and I like it. Between him and Harrison Ford do play the best presidents in the film. So between him and Harrison Ford and Air Force One, and Randy Quaid is gonna be in it, one of the fighter pilots, and then you get that famous speech that Bill Pullman says, the famous speech that I would say is one of the most classic speeches in film in all of cinema. I'm sure a lot of people would agree to that as well. And I want to get this right here. I got the quote right here. I want to see this good. It's like, but I'm sure a lot of people said it as well, so I want to give my take on it. And he tells all the pilots, and he's like, "Good morning. In less than an hour, aircraft from here will join others from around the world, and you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind. And that word should have a new meaning for all of us today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will unite in our common interests. Perhaps it's fate that today is the 4th of July. and you'll be once again be fighting for our freedom, not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We will be fighting for our right to live, to exist. And should we win this day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday. But as the day as the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day. And of course, yeah, this is one of the most famous speeches that in all of film history. It's one of them. I know that it's not the best speech though, but it's like one of them. And then that's such a great speech, and I love that speech. And Bill Pullman delivered that speech so well, and he was doing a fantastic job saying it. So yeah, I probably loused it up in a couple parts though, but I'm not perfect though. But I'm sure a lot of people have reference on speech as well. So, but yeah, that speech is fantastic. It's a fantastic speech. So, and he's like, you know, I'm not good here on the ground, telling to Barbara Loggia. It's like, I belong in the air. And it's a president you can root for. He wants to go out fighting because he was a pilot. That's why. And then with this part where Will Smith is wants to marry his Vivica Fox, and Jeff Goldblum and his ex-wife are there to witness it, and she notices that he's still wearing his wedding ring from their marriage. So he's there. So they're both there to witness Will Smith's getting married. So then, as they set off, Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum get in the alien ship, and he gives Jeff Goldblum a cigar because the point where he said that smoking was bad. That we tell him his father Judd Hirsch, it's like, you know, smoking is terrible for you. And he gives him a cigar. He's like, not until the fat lady sings. So as they get in the ship, and Will Smith has a little mistake as he pushes forward, it actually goes backwards. He goes, whoops. What do you mean? I was some idiot, you know, just had this thing switched around. Yeah, it's like, oh, don't forget, and don't say oops anymore. That way. And then he sets off, and Will Smith's like, I have got to get me one of these. And it's like, hey, look, no hands. And they go into space, and they head towards the mothership. And then you get a moment where they're getting pulled in, and he's like, well, Jekyll was like, I was expecting this. They're pulling us in. And was like, why didn't you tell me that? Oops. We gotta work on our communication here. And I like it. And also, it's a cool looking how inside of the mothership is, and there's like all a bunch of aliens, and it shows like how they're so tiny, and it's inside is so big. And he hits like the power windows to hide them from the aliens. And then he begins the virus and waiting for it to be, you know, fully functional. And it does, and Bill Pullman gets the first shot and hits the shield, but he says, you know, I want another shot at it. So he shoots it again, it goes through, and they start launching their missiles, and they get in the fight with the other alien ships, and Randy Quaid's like, alright, Mr. President. Alright, baby, I gotcha. Payback's a bitch, ain't it? So the fight's going on, and then Will Smith's trying to back of the mothership. Will Smith's trying to get themselves free, and then they're opening the windows for them, and it's like Jeff Goldblum's like, oh shit, hide. I don't know why. Just from how he said the word hide, I guess that made me chuckle. I guess I just don't know why. So they're fighting with the aliens, and in Adam Baldwin and Margaret Colin are trying to get everybody inside the down below in the bunker, and Judd Hirsch is like has everyone praying because he's speaking Jewish, and James Rebhorn, the Secretary of Defense, is he gets there and he's like, I'm not Jewish. Like, nobody's perfect. And they're trying to, but they're not causing enough damage to the ship though, and they're gonna try to take out their primary weapon, the beam. But Bill Pullman misses, and Randy Quaid has one more missile, so he tries to get in there, but the missile jams, and he does the noble sacrifice because he thinks of his children. He's like, do me a favor, tell my children I love them very much. So he's gonna do the noble thing. He's gonna sacrifice himself, and as he gets into the point where it's about to fire, it's like, "Hello, boys, I'm back." Sets it up before it fires, and just makes the whole ship blow up. Adam Baldwin tells that Randy Quaid's his oldest sons. They tell him what your father did was very brave. You should be proud of him. And the whole ship comes down, and then they know how to take all the other ships down, so they're sending messages from all around the world. And back at the mothership, Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum talking about what they're gonna do now. So they both smoke their cigars, and then so they see as they're gonna take off, and they're waiting till this alien sit in front of us like, hey, alright, hey, take a look at this, goodbye. Nothing for the Earthlings, nothing but love from us. So they get to launch that missile at them, and it's like, do they know what's gonna happen to them? Oh, not a chance in hell. Good night. And Will Smith, peace. Launches it. We're loose. I ain't heard no fat lady. Well, what's wrong? Enough with the fat lady. You're obsessed with the fat lady. Just get us out of here. So they're trying to escape. It's like, they're hitting us. They're hitting us. No, they're not hitting us. Go right there. Go. And then you get, of course, as the doors closing, of course, the film, which I enjoy, that Jeff Goldblum references from Jurassic Park, for trying to escape with the T-Rex, saying must go faster. He says the same line again. Must go faster. Must go faster. Must go faster. Go. And they get out there. Elvis has left the building. Then the mothership blows up, and then back on Earth, all the ships have came down from all over the world. Then they said that they go out there. That Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith, they crash landed somewhere else. And the president thanks them, and the president thanks them both. And as he tells Jeff Goldblum, like, not bad at all. And then Judd Hirsch like, oh, so this is healthy? Hey, I can get used to it. And then Will Smith tells to his son, is like, hey, did I promise you fireworks? And and then you get that really great score by what was the score? David Arnold. I love that's the one thing I forgot to mention. The score, I really enjoy the score, and it's also a memorable score. Just really memorable score. Well, not many of the scores is that memorable, but this score was memorable. I would just say, I love the score, and especially the main theme. Fits the film well. So, yeah, that's what I mentioned. And the film is also it's an over 2 hour movie, but it goes at a really good pace, and it was not boring, and I didn't find it that slow. So, yeah, Independence Day. What more could I say? I enjoy this film. I love the film more than enjoy. I love the movie. I just don't get why it gets a lot of hate nowadays. I just really don't. Trying to see whether the features it has on this. It's because it's a 2-disc edition. I just want to see what the features that it has in here. Because I remember the features were pretty good, and because yeah, this I don't want to go through all the whole thing though, but it just really, especially when it made one of the most memorable scenes, like right there, the White House being blown up, and just just a big epic. I would say, it's pretty much, it's all epic, and I don't have that many problems. I don't think I have no problems with the movie, but when it comes with the new sequel, I never wanted a sequel though, and there was one point like a few years back they wanted to re-release this in 3D. Yeah, really re-release this movie in theaters. I'd rather pay money to see this in the theater again. Well, not again, because I haven't. It's one of the sad things. I never got to see this film in theaters, sadly though. But I would pay money to see this if this got re-released. I would. I would rather pay money to see that than to see Resurgence, to be honest. But like a couple years back, they wanted to re-release this, but they decided not to. But I would like to see this film to get re-released in theaters. I would pay. This to me would be money well spent to see this epic sci-fi movie. Yeah, that's what I would say. Because I love the cast. Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman, Will Smith, they all did a fantastic job. Those three main characters alone. Judd Hirsch, Vivica Fox, Margaret, Colin, Brett Spinner, Anna Baldwin, Harvey Fierstein, Robert Loggia, Randy Quaid. Just a great cast, and mixing with a great score, with awesome action scenes and memorable action scenes, especially groundbreaking. Yeah, very wonderful, awesome, spectacular, fantastic special effects, which are not dated. The special effects are not dated at all, with a great use of mixture of some digital CG. But it's mixing very well with well done models and miniatures, especially how the city's being blown up, and great effects. I like the look of the design of the inside of the Mothership, and especially the original spaceships as well. Everything in this movie is just memorable, especially from the action scenes to the cast. It's memorable. I just don't get why it gets. It's mind-boggling. I don't get why it still gets hated on. I mean, if people have the right to not to like the film, that's their opinions, though. But I don't think there's not that many people there's not that many people that don't like the movie. I'm sure it's like about 95% of people that still like this movie, but I guess somehow in that 5% says it's not great anymore, and I disagree with that. And it was a massive hit, made over $800 million worldwide. It was the highest grossing film of 1996. And it won an Oscar for Best Visual Effects, which it deserves. It deserves to win for Best Visual Effects, because they were such groundbreaking and awesome and epic and fantastic. It mixed with good practical effects and digital effects as well. Why am I keeping saying digital effects? It's CG, it's the same thing. But nowadays, everything will be totally CG. With no because I guess it's like, I don't know why, but. And Roland Emmerich did a great job directing with help with Dean Devlin, help make on a lot of his films. The score was great, and I love the score. Love the humor in the film, the dialogue, the famous speech by Bill Pullman. Everything in the film, I would say, this is really well done. I just don't get what the problem is, though. That it's out of date? No, it's not. The film is not out of date. It's not dated at all. It's a 20 for the 20th anniversary for me on this review. Yeah, it's not dated at all. It looks fantastic. It still looks great. I just don't get it. I just don't get that whole this whole thing of getting hated on nowadays. I just don't get it at all. But yeah. But this is my review for the 20th figure 1996, my 20th anniversary movie review of it, and for a film, but for the holiday right now, Independence Day. Everything I love about the film. So I wanted to say Happy 4th of July to everybody, and which is why I film I watch every 4th of July, for fitting, because Independence Day, yeah. But I watch this every 4th of July, and it's a great film to watch. Still check on July 4th. So, yeah, my 20th anniversary review of Independence Day. It still holds up today. To me, it does. Still does hold up today. But I love this movie, and so once again, I want to say Happy 4th of July to everybody. If some of you people that think that you don't like this film, be my guest, but most of the people have seen this film, knows everything about it. They do enjoy how people do enjoy the movie. So, but I love this movie. It's a classic, definitely a classic. Redefined basically the alien invasion genre. And one day, well, maybe one Independence Day resurgence. Maybe I'll wait for it to come on DVD though. But I'm not gonna pay. This is a film I would say I would not pay to see in theater. I'll just wait for it to come on DVD. But I'm not giving my hopes up because I've already talked negatively about it. So, but maybe I'll watch it for maybe for the original cast and director. But we'll see about that though. But this is a film I would say deserves to be talked more because, yeah, because there's other alien invasion films I do like. I will, like War of the Worlds and Skyline, but of course there are some fair shares of some very shitty ones as well. But this is definitely one of the best ones, hands down. And yeah, so hey, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed my 4th of July / 20th anniversary of review of Independence Day. Classic. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned on the next movie review. And once again, happy 4th of July to everybody. And the next review will be getting back onto the Leprechaun franchise. Once again, and see you later.